Hello guys, it's Silas Tops here, your PHP lecturer. Welcome to our PHP lecture 16. In this lecture guys, I'm just going to show you how to write a project using switch statement in PHP. I'm going to use the same project that we wrote in our PHP lecture 15. If you haven't watched that lecture, please, I recommend you to revisit that lecture and listen to it and see how we wrote a project using a nested if and else statement. So in this lecture, I'm just going to use the same project that we wrote in our PHP lecture 15. And in this case, I'm going to use a switch instead of the nested if else that we used in our lecture 15. So as usual guys, my details are here. If you have got any problem, you can still actually contact me either using my cell phone or my email here. If you have got anything, then I will quickly assist you. The thing guys, our project for our last lecture, it was simply for grading marks, where you need to enter the mark, then the program, your code, we're grading that mark and tell you that this mark it's a fail. When it is under, when the mark is between 45 to 49, then the program will tell you that this mark you qualify for supplemental, and when it's 50 to 59, then the program tell you you passed with a grade C. Then if it's between 60 and 74, the program also will tell you that you passed with a B grade. And when it's 75 to 100, then definitely the program will tell you you passed with an A grade and a distinction. Any other mark besides the ones that will be in this range, then the program will tell you that you didn't write an exam. Maybe if you have got a negative mark or something like, then the program will definitely tell you that maybe you didn't write an exam. So this is the program actually that we did wrote using our nested if. So in this lecture guys, I'm just going to show you how to write the same program that we wrote using a nested if, and in this case you are writing it using a switch statement, and you can actually see the relation between a nested if and else statement and a switch statement. So most of the program that you can write using a nested if and else statement, you can still be able to write the same program using also a switch statement in PHP. So without wasting time guys, let me just show you. I already have those projects here in my text editor. So these are the project that we wrote. These are the project guys, and I demonstrated actually in two parts. I actually showed you how to write a form in what in a front end. This is a front end where you actually fill your mark. Then once you fill your mark, your front end will send your mark to the PHP, which is the backend code, and this is the backend code that I wrote using a nested if statement guys. So I'm just gonna actually write this code that we did in our last project. So please guys, please, if you didn't get time to revisit our lecture 15 where we did this project, please go and listen to that video so that you understand what we were doing here. So for today guys, I'm just gonna quickly go here and open a new file here. I'm going to new, then I'll click new file. So in this new file, I already have this front end. I'm gonna use the same front end that we used in our last lecture. So let me just paste here the front end that I have. This is the front end, but the front end for today, let me just save this front end in a, because the project for today is prog 16. Let me go to save as here. Let me go to save as. Then in my save as here guys, as usual, I have to go to C drive. C drive, then I go to XAMPP. Then XAMPP, I have to look for htdocs. In my htdocs here, I have to click a new folder because today we are doing we are in PHP lecture 16. So let me just write this prog 16. Okay, just write prog 16. I think it's fine. So this is my project called prog 16. So this front end, let me just give it the name student mark. Okay, student mark.php. I give it an extension .php I want you actually to get used to that, guys. Let me click here in P Programs Keystone, then I'll save it inside. I'll click save. So here is my front end lecture. Let me just write here lectures Keystone because you're on lectures Keystone. PHP lectures Keystone grading. So my heading for here it's grading student marks using PHP switch statement. Okay, the form, and I did explain about this form, guys, the front end, why we have got this method. When you're designing your form, you must actually put in a form tag method and you write post or get, because we have got two methods that we use when we want to submit our front end information to our PHP, either using a post or a get method. So here you indicate which method you're gonna use in what, in your PHP backend when you are actually submitting this form. Then here is a link where you want to submit your form. So if you want to submit this form to another online link where this information of your form is going to be processed, you simply put a link here. But if you want to submit it to a form like the project file that I'm gonna name project.php, you simply put the project.php. Once you click submit, which means this form, this information of this form is going to be taken to this action that you actually put here. So I hope, guys, you don't have to be stressed with this thing, because we're gonna do them in our next semester PHP, because this PHP is all about introduction, guys, as I told you in our last lecture. So without wasting time, once you have this, guys, the front end, this is the front end. I hope you are familiar with the HTML. This is the HTML of this. So once you have got your front end, guys, I want to write my back end. My back end, I have to come here and then I click new file. In my new file, you know that my back end, I'm going to write my back end using a PHP. Oh, before I even write any code, let me save this project. Go to save as. Make sure that you save all your files in the same folder, which is my project 9. So I also name this. Let me name it project.php. Then I'll save. This is the file of my front end, and I'll save this one for my back end inside there. There are two now. So I have got this and this. This is the front end and this is the back end. So the back end, guys, it's my PHP. How do I actually write my PHP? You know that your PHP code must be inside your PHP tags. So I'm gonna write this PHP tag, which is simply question mark and PHP, and a closing tag, which is question mark and greater than sign. So my code must be in between here. So the first thing that I'm gonna do, as usual, guys, I have to declare the variable. So I'm gonna do the same thing that I did on this project here. So I'm gonna declare the variable called result. I'm gonna declare the variable called result. You know how to declare a variable. I'm gonna declare the variable called result. Then I'll assign it an empty string. How do I assign it an empty string? I'll simply put double quotes in front. Then I'll end it with the same colon. So this one, PHP will recognize it as a string because I put those quotes. So the next thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna write, I'm gonna check whether the submit button was clicked in my form, and I use the same syntax which I used. If is set, then variable, global variable, post is set, then I'll call this one. I did talk about this one. It's an identifier name. This is the identifier name for my submit button, which is here, which is identifier name here that I'm using to check with. So I'll simply let me just copy from my last project. Let me just copy the same statement from my last project, which is if is set post. Let me just copy this. Copy. Then I'll come here. Let me just paste it here. Paste it here. Let me put closing keyword bracket. Okay, I'm here. So this is how we write it, guys. So variable results. Then I'll put if is set what? Is set variable, global variable, post, submit. This is how you check. You are checking if this form, when you are filling this form, if the one who were filling the form clicked the submit button. So if you click this submit button after filling the form, then this PHP is going to recognize, okay, now this person is submitted the information. So after submitting the information, then this form started to process things. But if you actually fill the form without clicking the submit button, there's nothing that's going to be processed. So the next thing that I'm going to do after doing this, I want to capture my mark inside here. So I simply declare the variable called marks. I want to capture the marks that were filled in the form. How do I capture? Because in my form here, I mentioned that I want to use the method called post. So I'm using the same global variable called post to capture my mark in that form. So I simply capture that mark with a global variable called post, which is this one, the global variable with these square brackets. So inside these square brackets, I'll simply put a single quotes. So inside these single quotes, I have to put my identifier name, which is the identifier name for my mark field, which is this one. So I told you, actually, when you are designing a form, guys, each and every field we have got a unique identifier name. They don't share the identifier name. So this button is identified only with its own identifier name, which submit, and this field for mark is also identified with its identifier name, which is mark. So you simply have to capture these values in your global variable of PHP using the identifier name, which is mark. So that is the name that I'm going to take, which is mark, and come and put it inside here and say mark. So once I'm done that, then I'll just end it with the same colon. So after capturing my mark, now I have got my marks captured and saved in this variable now. All my marks, I have them. So I want to apply a switch. So a switch, you simply write switch here, then it have got the brackets. So you want to switch. What do you want to switch? You want to switch a variable marks. This is the marks that you want to switch. That variable of marks. So you simply write that variable inside. You want to switch your mark. Once you write a switch, then you say marks. You put opening QL bracket and closing QL bracket for your switch as well. It's more like the if. So once you are inside here in your switch now, your different conditions for your marks, you have got this one, which is 1 up to 44. The 1 up to 44, you simply actually come here in your statement. Then you write it with a defined function called case. So once you say case, in front you put your condition. So the condition that I'm going to put is the first one. I'm going to take the same condition that I wrote in last week. This was our first condition for our if here. So I'm only take this condition for my if, which is the first one. Let me copy it. Then I'll come and put it in front of my case here. Let me paste it. Let me paste. So once we put your condition here in front, so you have to put double quotes in front of your condition. Double quotes. How do I write double quotes? Okay, it's double quotes. Okay, these double quotes. So after you put these double quotes, then you write, after that double quotes, then you have to write your statement of this case, of this condition. If this condition is true, what should you want to do? Then you have to write it after this condition, after this case. So what I'm going to do, if that condition is true, I'm just going to actually doing the same thing that I did, which is the result you failed. This is statement. I'm going to take this statement. That's the statement that I'm going to actually display. So I need that statement. So I'll come here and put that statement. Let's say, so if this condition is true, I want this statement called you failed your module, you need to re-register saved in this variable. So after writing the statement that I need to display if this condition is true, you have to write break. You have to break this statement with a function called break. So now after saying break, you have to go and write another case for a second condition. You simply write case. Then after writing this case, I'm going and take only the same condition that I have, which is my second condition is this one. I'm just going to take the whole condition as it is. Copy. After copying it, I'll bring it here. It's where I'm going. So you come and paste it here. This is our second case. Then in front here you put again a colon. You put a colon in front. So after putting a colon, then you put the statement that need to be executed when this condition is true. So it's the same like this is the first part is for this if, then the second is for this else if. So I need only this statement to be executed when that condition is true. So I'm simply just copy that one. Let me just copy and bring it here, then paste it here. So this is the statement. When this condition is true, then only this statement, my statement you qualified to write supplemental is going to be actually assigned to this variable. So after each and every case, you have to put a break function to indicate the end of that case. So mind you guys, I'm not putting keyword bracket here. The case statement here, the condition is separated by the break. So whenever this case, the statement for this condition is true, all the statements that are going to be executed are in between here. Then after all those statements are executed, then you end with a break. It's unlike in our nested if. Our nested if, each and every else if you've got an opening keyword bracket and a closing keyword bracket. So the code that you need to be executed will be inside here. So the next condition that I'm going to go, it's the third one. So I have got this one, which is from 45 to 50 now. So after 45 to 50, I have to go on this one, 50 to 49. So I need another case for 50 to 49. So the case for 50 to 49, if I came to my project here, I'm going to take the same. Let me just write case. You write case, then in front of the case, I'm going to actually copy the same condition. That is the third one for my nested if, which is this one, 50 or equal to 60. Let me just copy this one. So once I copy this one, I come and paste it here in front of this case. Let me Control V. Then in front there, I'll put colon. Then after putting a colon, I need the statement that I'm going to execute. I'm going to copy the same statement here from my last project for if, which is this one, passed with grade C. Let me just copy this statement. Copy. Then I'm going to paste it here. That's the statement that I need to be executed. Then I put a break indicating the end of that case. Break, semicolon. So after this break, I want to put another case again. This case now is for the marks that are between 6 to 74. So if I come to my project here, I'm going to actually go to my last project for if. For the marks between 60 and 74, it's simply this condition here. So I'm going to take only this condition here. Let me just copy this condition. So I'll put it in front of my case here. Then after the condition, I have to put the colon. So after the colon, I need the code that I need to be executed when this condition is true. So the code that need to be executed, I'm going to copy it again from the same, which is this. I just want to display the message, just say congratulations, you've passed with grade B. That's the code that I need. So let me copy the same code there. Let me come and paste it here in my code here. If I paste it, after pasting it, I have to put a break indicating the end of that case. Then after that, I have to put another case. Then that case now is gonna be the case that's representing the distinction one for 75 to 100 marks. So I just wanna come here and copy the same condition that I wrote here, which is marks greater than or equal to 75. Let me just copy it. If I copy this and come to my project for today here, I'll paste it in front here. If I paste it, then I'll put colon in front. Then I need to write the statement that or the code that need to be executed if this condition is true. So I'm going to take the same code. Instead of typing, I'm going to take the same code, which is this one in my else if, which is saying congratulations, you have passed with a distinction. Let me just copy that code. copy, I'll paste it here. Then after pasting it, I have to write break again, indicating the end of my case statement. Then the last statement, now you've got 75. The last statement, that is the else one, that will display when the mark is anything other than the mark between 0, 1 to up to 100. If the mark you find, or maybe someone put -20, -5, -2, I need another statement that's going to be displayed. So let's say the last one in a case statement, you don't put a case on your last one, which is the default. Remember, in my nested if, the last statement you put only an else, but in case, when you switch, when you're writing a switch, the last statement you put what called the default. You write the name default for your last statement. Then you put a colon in front of default. Then now you write the code that you want it to display or execute for your default. If any of these condition any of these cases up here fails, which means this one is going to be the code that's going to be executed. So I need the same statement that's going to be executed, saying what? Saying assigning the value, the string. You didn't write an exam to my variable result here. So let me just copy the same thing, then I'll paste it here. Let me paste it here. Let me paste it. So this is how you write a case, guys. So I'm done. So this is how you write a switch. A switch, you switch these marks, then you write in terms of case. All those conditions, you write them in cases. Case, you put the condition, the first condition, and the code, then you break. If you didn't write this break, all these conditions will be executed, all of them at once. So you make sure that you have to put at each and every condition, you put the word break. You break each and every case with the function break. So that's how you write it, guys. So after writing this, I'm done writing my switch. I simply need to display these statements here. So I'm gonna copy these statements again that I want to display, guys. Let me just copy them. After copying them, I'll come to my code here. So I want to display them here after my if. So I simply paste this code here. After switched my marks here, I want to display now my results. I put the H here, it's header 1. I want to display the statement. I'm going to say grading of your marks, then concatenating my marks, then with this string is finished. Then I want to display my results here. This is how I display my results. I want to display it as a header 3. Then also I close with the header 3. I concatenate my variable. This is how I call my marks. So after I did this, guys, I simply click save here. Let me click only, I'll come here, then I'll click save. Once I click save, I'm done writing my back end, guys. So the only thing that I have to do now, I go to my control panel XAMPP and make sure that I'll started my Apache and my SQL. I'll start Apache here, and also I'll make sure that I'll start my SQL. Once these two are started, then I can minimize. Then I'll go to my browser. In my browser, guys, as usual, I have to type localhost. Okay, localhost. Then I type the project name, which is prog16. My project name is called prog16. All right, enter. Once I type enter, guys, I'll see my file displayed here. So I have to run to click my front end, which is this one. So you see my front end page is displayed here nicely. So here it's where you type your mark. If I type my mark, let's say I'll type 40 here and click this button, grade mark. You see my statement is, my results are being displayed and say grading of your mark is equals to 40 is finished. You failed your module. If you come here, you failed your module because I typed the mark that is in between 40 here, it's failed. So if I go back again and put a different mark, let's say, let me rerun my project. Let me put a different mark. Let me enter something like maybe 60. Okay, let me 61. Okay, then grade my mark. You see, grading of your mark 61 is finished. Congratulations, you have passed with a grade B. If you come here and check grade B, is it correct? Yes, because I entered 61 mark. 60 is in between 60 and 74. So the marks, my code is giving me a correct grading. So you can actually play around with this one, guys, and see also how if I put another one, let's say I put a different one. Let's say I put maybe, let me put 90. If I put in 90 and grade it, you see, I've got 90 has finished. Grading of your mark 90 has finished. Congratulations, you've passed with a grade A distinction. So my code actually are running perfectly. Let me put a negative mark as well. Then you'll see what's going to happen. If I click here and put, let's say, minus 10, minus, let's say 10, you've got minus 10 mark and press enter. You see, grading of your mark minus 10 is finished. You didn't write an exam because it's not another mark that is in the range that is expected here. So it definitely gives me the default mark for which is on my project. So this is how you actually write a switch statement, guys. The switch statement, you alternating your marks here. So your marks, you put the condition in front of each and every case, then you put the results, then here put another case condition. If this condition is true, then this one only is going to be executed. Then if this one is true and all other conditions are false, then this code is only the one going to be executed. So I hope, guys, you see how to change this code from a nested if project and rewriting it using a switch. So when you're giving a code in nested if, you can be able to write it using a switch, and also when you're giving a code in a switch, you should be able to write it using a nested if. So I hope, guys, you enjoyed this project. I encourage you to keep on practicing. Keep on actually practicing PHP. For you to understand PHP, you need to practice, guys. Practice the nested if and the switch statement so that you can understand these two and the similarity and the relation between two of them. Guys, just have a nice evening. Keep on practicing PHP. I hope to see you guys in our next lecture, which is PHP lecture 17. Thank you, guys. Bye.